never done. One shot, one Cheers up, the cavalry's here! Nerf them! Play of the game. Heroes never die.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Owlet Week 5. We got a minors match for you tonight. EXPandable Odyssey versus Otter Oxide. I'll be casting tonight. My name's Piper, and along with me, we have casting and producing is Build. Say hello, Build.
Hello! This is my first time casting and producing at the same time, so this should be a fun experience. I'll try my best.
Yeah, we'll keep this as good as possible for you guys. We're already in the lobby. This match is just about to get underway here. Once again, it is EXPandable Odyssey versus Otter Oxide. This is going to be a pretty interesting match for you guys. Otter Oxide, had a tough week this week. They did take a win against Blazing Pegasus in a rather magnificent reverse sweep, and then just fell just short to Flashpoint in their second match of the week. So this is actually a Week 5 matchup right here for these two teams.
Well, I'm excited. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it should be a good game. We are in the lobby, just waiting for this to get underway. Our first map tonight is going to be Oasis. So, Build, what do you think we're going to see here on Oasis? What kind of comps, strats? What do you think we're going to see from these teams?
Well, this is in the age of Season 14, and in the age of Season 14, you know what you see a lot of? You see a lot of goats. You certainly see a lot of that, but I've seen a lot of pharmacies on Oasis, and I'm thinking maybe some pharmacy in here? Why not?
And Bird is a pretty strong Pharah, The last map, Blizzard World against Flashpoint, popped off on that Pharah for sure. So maybe you're right. Maybe some pharmacy. What else? We're starting on University here. That's going to be our first point. So, I mean, pretty strong point for goats, right?
I would say so. Like when I play this map, I tend to go straight in goats, straight through the middle, and just go straight in there. But the Pharahs, there's a lot of cover for the Pharahs on these high up areas of the map, and so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Pharah here. I would really not be surprised.
Well, we're about to get into it now, as we'll get our first glimpse at the team comps here, and we'll see if they try to debate the casters at all. And right off the bat, it looks like Moira Goats coming out from the side of Otter Oxide. Just for you, those of you at home, Otter Oxide is in the red, and EXPandable Odyssey is in the blue.
Indeed.
And
let's see. Well, it's looking pretty goatsy out here today.
yeah, Zen Goats and Moira Goats. Who do you think has the advantage in this instance with the Moira versus the Zenyatta?
EXPandable Odyssey, I would say, has the advantage just because of that Zenyatta. You can really burst down the Reinhardt because of the Discord orb, but they have to play it right in order to make it effective.
Oh, this is quite the flank going on from Otter Oxide going underneath, but it got spotted out there by Jax as he tried to micro-missile them, so it might not be as shocking as they tried. Bowl of Bulls and DC here now. Shields up, looking to swing away on each other, and Bowl of Bulls with the charge is going to find Amatar, and that's going to be the first kill of that matchup, and DC gets him way too far, but he takes down Bowl of Bulls. His team keeping him alive. That Zenyatta, Orb of Harmony, and Discord proving effective there. And DC is going to be swinging away with that hammer, and Jack is going to fall bird, and it looks like it's going to be this first fight going the way of EXPandable Odyssey.
Oh man, the way that DC was able to recover when he overextended his charge was really impressive.
Yeah, and oh my god, a shatter already! And that is going to be the cleanup for EXPandable Odyssey, finally able to cap first point. Do you think maybe DC could have hung on to that shatter? I mean, it was, what, a 6v4, 6v3 on that point there at the end, Phil?
It definitely was not completely necessary, but then again, you get that extra percentage by getting them off the point quickly, get the ball rolling.
And I mean, look at their ult economy on EXPandable right now, right? Already gonna be grab bombing. It's actually only gonna find Bird, but Rippin is gonna find Bowl of Bulls, and Jax on the remix is gonna take down Sakura, sorry. And they are going to surge forward and clean up the rest of Otter Oxide. Not a strong start for Otter Oxide on this point.
They did not go for the stagger on Baby Diva, which is interesting because they could have done that easily. But a well-executed grav bomb by Otter Oxide, EXPandable Odyssey, sorry. But yeah, looks like they're going to be coming in with a bit of a grab combo of their own here. They don't quite have bomb yet, so what are they going to do with it?
And it looks like they're just going to try to swing into it, but they're not going to get anything with the trance coming out from Click Clack, and the double shatters is going to get people on both teams, and it is just an alt fest. Rippin' Pippin, though, is going to drop the beat, and now their bomb's going to come out. But oh, Triamatar with DC stuck behind enemy lines is going to get caught out, and Bowl of Bulls finds the charge onto Rippin' Pippin, and it looks like very quickly Otter Oxide in that absolute ult fest is going to recap this point.
Otter Oxide invests all of their ultimates, but finally manages to get a piece out of EXPandable Odyssey. Took them a while, but they finally did it. But their ult economy is actually not looking that bad. Both teams invested a lot of ults there, so they actually should be in a good position to hold this.
And it just came down to the fact that I think the first pick there that came out of an ultimate was Famsu finding that bomb kill. And we are going to get back into this fight here. The shatter is going to find Triamatar. Oh, DC with the nice block. Bowl of Bulls gets 2, gets 3 with the charge. DC, Rippin' Pippin, and Triamatar falling, and Otter Oxide's going to clean up this fight fairly handily here.
Reinhardt already back up to 75% ult charge.
That's is insane.
That's what you get when you group an entire Reinhardt. So they probably won't expect him to have shatter again already. I'm expecting something big coming up here.
I mean, it is looking good here for Otter Oxide, but EXPandable really only has to win one fight here, and this is going to be the grab bomb. They get everybody inside it, and the shatter from behind. Jack is going to get 2. Jackson DC picking up for the next couple of kills, and that is going to be a very quick roll by EXPandable, and not a lot of time for Otter Oxide to regroup here as time's ticking away, only 15 seconds.
Indeed, they only have a few seconds here to regroup and get in. A well-executed grav bomb by EXPandable Odyssey, and in they go.
Oh, Bowl of Bulls, though, is going to get the nano. The big block coming out by DC. Quick Clack with the trance, going to keep his team alive on this point, but DC falls into the pit. This team is now without a Reinhardt, and Famsu is going to recognize that, throw the bomb, doesn't find anything, but Bulls of Bulls is going to get Triamatar and Jax out of mech. Bowl of Bulls now going big. DC is going to find a disappoint, but it's too little too late. It looks like this brawl is going to go the way of Otter Oxide as Bulls of Bulls falls Click Clack. And sure enough, the cap goes the other way, but EXPandable did manage to get the point to 99%.
Oh, DC is going to get a little bit staggered here, feeding a little bit of alt charge, and that's going to hurt them a little bit. It's going to come down to the final fight here. EXPandable Odyssey looking only like they have maybe a Shatter coming in, a Lucio alt, and Rally. They're not really going to have much else as in the way of offensive alts, so trying to get in here might be difficult for them.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. Not a lot of alts, though, on either side. Triamatar is going to pop that Rally pre-fight, give his team a little bit more HP. Oh, but that's a huge anti from a Disappoint. Ribbon Pippin, though, with the beat to counteract that, and DC goes charging forward, but Bulls of Bulls counter. DC don't fall in that pit again, and Triamatar is going to find Bird. DC's Shatter finds nothing, but he does find Xavier with the Flame Strike, and this is a all-out brawl. Click Clack finds Famsu. Oh, but the Shatter from Bull of Bulls is only going to find Sakura in the back line, and Click Clack with a trans this fight as Jax and Jack are going to clean up. If that isn't confusing, I don't know what is. Famsu forced to bomb on point, isn't going to find anybody, and it's Bird and Famsu and Xavier EXE brawling on this point, trying to keep Otter Oxide's hopes alive, but it looks like it's going to be the cleanup here for EXPandable. Oh, but Xavier with some sick wall rides manages to stay alive long enough to let Bull of Bulls come back on a point, but he is all alone and discorded. And a Disappoint now hits a huge ante, but doesn't help when your entire team is dead. And that is going to be this first point going the way of EXPandable. What an absolute brawl.
Good job by DC, holding up his shield in the grab, making sure none of his teammates got shattered there. It would have been a huge shatter by Otter Oxide if he hadn't done that. His whole team probably would have died. Very clutch.
Yes, that would have been absolutely massive for Otter Oxide, but it was a good block there by DC for sure to block that Bull of Bulls Shatter. And now we're going to move on to... Oh, what is this one called? I'm blank. Garden?
I don't know.
Is this Oasis Garden?
I think so. I think you're right there. Yeah. Oh, it is.
Yeah. It definitely is. Definitely is Garden.
Oh, we're seeing the pharmacy come out.
Oh, yes. We're going to see from this EXPandable side, we're going to see a Ryan Zarya, Pharmacy, Ana, and we're also going to see a Mei. That's a little bit interesting. And then we've got a pretty classic... Oh, we actually have... it looks like Dive Goats with a Pharah on the side of Otter Oxide. That's quite the interesting choice.
Only one team is rocking the Mercy, so it's looking like EXPandable Odyssey might actually have the advantage with the Pharmacy.
And Jack is going to find a Disappoint, but Bird is going to find Rip and Pippin out of position, and Bull of Bulls is going to find Jax as DC charged into Oblivion, leaving his team out to dry. You can't make charges like that because you disappear from the fight.
Indeed. Well, it's like they don't have... No team has any else going into this, so they're just going to have to go again to it. Some swaps coming out. They're going to a more Death Volley comp up in here. We'll see.
Yeah, we've got the Reaper and the Zenyatta, perhaps, you know, the McCree as well, trying to take Bird out of the sky. Oh, but Xavier's going to find Jack and pick him as he tries to come through the choke. And that's going to be a very quick regroup for EXPandable, as they don't really know where they want to go with this. They know that they can't push in, but they're kind of just sitting in a choke. But Jack is going to come back now. But Bird is going to get barrage this fight, so that is going to be a very important ultimate to hang on to.
Getting picked like that takes around 15 seconds out of the clock, so that is super advantageous for Otter Oxide here.
And we're going to see EXPandable move onto the high ground here, try to give Jax the best position to take Bird out of the sky. Oh, but that was, a huge boop from Xavier. And who was that on the side of Otter Oxide there? Sakura, huge, but the kills are actually coming in blue here. And this is anybody's fight at this point.
Looking like they're going to take it back.
Oh, EXPandable actually, even with that boop coming out from Xavier onto their Zenyatta, is actually going to find a few kills, but they're not able to clean up quite yet. Sakura, Disappoint, and Sakura and Xavier still on this point, but Jack is going to find two with the Deadeye. Xavier and Sakura falling to him, but Disappoint is going to clean him up, and this is a brawl, and the reinforcements are back for Otter Oxide. Just a very sloppy fight from EXPandable, and Bird is going to get two there to clean it up. Only 15 seconds remaining on this point.
A super valiant stall coming in from Otter Oxide. They managed to push them back off the point after they were down so many people, and now it's going to come down to one last fight, and they have to go ham in order to get back to the point in time.
Yeah, and Jack is going to get back there in time, and he's trying to stall for his team. And it's an all-out brawl here. And we're going to see, actually, Triamatar with the Reaper ult is going to find the 2 supports on Otter Oxide. That's a huge pick. Trades his life, but if you have nobody to heal you, this makes it a whole lot more difficult. Sakura and Bird try to equalize, but Jax is going to find Sakura, swinging it in favor of Expandable, and it is a brawl on this point. Jax is going to find Bird, but Famsu is going to jump off the mat as he's demeched, and Jax finds another. At this point is going to go the way of Expandable. Not quite out of the fight yet.
Not quite, but their ults are looking a little bit low. They're coming up on Nano, and they're coming up on Transcendence, but Otter Oxide's coming in with a bomb and a fire barrage and a grab here. They could combo any one of those together.
Yeah, Jax is going to have a lot to do here, looking to DM not only Bird's ult, but also has to try to maybe DM Sakura's bomb. And there's, oh, the bomb is going to find Click Clack, but Jax is going to find Famsu before they can remech here. And this is really anybody's fight here as key players going down, but Bird is going to find Rip and Pippin, but not before he gets off the Nano. DC is going to trade out on us here. Disappoint going down. Jax is going to drop the mines on the point here. And there's the grab coming out. The grab barrage combo. But Bull of Bulls, though, is going to get 2 kills. And there's the bomb coming out. Not going to find anything. Bull of Bulls with 3. And he's going to flip this point in favor of Otter Oxide. Huge plays from him.
Expandable Odyssey doing their best to come back in. The Transcendence comes out for them. They might be able to take this back.
Yeah, Jack with the pick on the Sakura. That's a key player for Otter Oxide, but Famsu's gonna find Click Clack. Click Clack has died first in fights so many times, and the ultimates really aren't in favor of Expandable here, but DC is gonna take out a Disappoint, but Famsu finds Rip and Pippin and Triamatar and Jack. The huge 3K coming out from Famsu, and finally he's demeched by DC, but this looks to be a fight that's already lost for Expandable, but they're trying to stay in it here. Bull of Bulls is gonna demech Jax and kill him, but DC jumped off the point, and he C9
by DC. Always feels bad when that happens. So many times. You see it a lot of times. An ulting monkey jumps up in the air, overtime ticker ticks down, and it's just over.
And especially with the way the mechanics work for overtime, you know, the longer that you stall on that point, the shorter overtime becomes. So that overtime wick was, you know, down to about a second, and just the time that he was in the air was enough for him to demech here. And it looks like we're going to see a bit more of a classic dive coming out. We're going to see Otter Oxide sticking on their their mountain goats with the Pharah. Quite an interesting comp. And we're going to see a bit more of a classic dive coming out from Expandable Odyssey with the Pharah, the Lucio, the Ana, the Diva Winston, and an Ashe.
The Ashe coming out from Expandable Odyssey makes me think that their Pharah is not going to live very long because Bird does not have a pocket.
Yeah, but neither does Triamatar. Wouldn't you want to swap out that Lucio maybe for that Mercy? Oh, but Jack is going to find Bird, and you were right. Bird's Pharah is not going to last long in the face of that Ashe. And really, there's no counter to the Pharah on the side of Otter Oxide, and Triamatar is going to use that to his advantage. Felling Bull of Bulls here, and he is just flying around that point, raining death from above. And Otter Oxide looks like they're kind of backing out here, and DC's gonna find Sakura. Amatar cleans up a Disappoint, and that is going to be the fight in favor of Expandable here.
Excellent work by Expandable Odyssey. They really had the top advantage there. Picked the fire early and just took their advantage as soon as they could.
Yeah, definitely was a huge advantage for Expandable there. Just nobody really to contest Triamatar on the Pharah, and Bird has to contend with Jack's Ashe, which has been huge. He's almost at Bob already. So, you know, we're going to see a couple swaps here. Sakura is going to get off of that Zarya onto the Genji. Maybe not the swap I would make to try to really counter a Pharah, but we'll see how it works, right?
Oh, indeed.
And there's Bob. Bob kind of gets thrown behind. Maybe a bit of a panic. Oh, Famsu is going to find Jack, and Bull of Bulls is going to find Click Clack, but Jack actually finds Bird with that bomb, but Famsu's gonna take out Triamatar, and there's an exchange of beats on the point now, but it looks like this fight is already going the way of Otter Oxide, but it's gonna be a huge delay here for Expandable, and DC is going to use that Primal to stall it out even longer, and he is actually zoning off Disappoint away from his team. This could be a kill for him, and sure enough, he does find Disappoint, and a huge anti there from Quick Clack, and he throws the Nano onto Jax. Famsu is gonna bomb to remech, and he's gonna find Ripin and DC, who thought they were safe inside the center. Bull of Bulls also finds Jack, and somehow this fight still isn't over. EXPandable is refusing to give up this point. Fansu's gonna fall. Triamatar. Jax gets demeched. And finally, this fight is going in favor of Otter Oxide, but 80% of the point has been capped for EXPandable.
That's barely enough time for a reboot. I'm surprised they have not swapped Bird off, seeing as they don't really have much to support it, and they have an Ashe that's really been making his job, or her job, difficult. It's been, I've been watching, it's been a really tough time, but now they have the Barrage going into this, and both teams have Barrage, and Otter Oxide actually has a Blade, a Nano Blade even, going into this as well, so it looks like the ult advantage is on their side.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult here for EXPandable on this retake. And there it is, the Nano Blade coming in. He's going to find Ripid, and he's going to find Click Clack. He gets 2, and he's on Jack now. Famsu's going to fall Triamatar in the meantime, and Sakura is going to take down Jack. And smart plays coming out by EXPandable, though, not using any ultimates. They recognized as soon as that Nano Blade was popped, they're only at 40%, guys. We have the time to regroup.
Excellent work by Sakura, getting that Nano Blade out and getting the picks needed, and Bird having the ability to instantly read the situation and not popping the ult, just keeping it for a rainy day, just so that they have it when they need it.
The only thing kind of going in the favor of EXPandable here is that with that fight, they did kind of actually equal up the ult economy. So maybe, just maybe, we'll see something happen here. And it's a bit of a brawl on the high ground here as Otter Oxide gets up to 75%. And there's the barrage from Bird. It's going to find Rip and Pippin. Disappoint finds Triamatar before finally Bird's ult stops. And that's 2 huge picks here. And there's very little time for a regroup on this EXPandable side.
Not very much time at all. They did not pop very many of their ults. They didn't pop Fire ult. They didn't pop Bob when they easily could have. So they only have about 5 seconds to get back now.
This is going to be tough, and Otter Oxide is recognizing this, trying to stuff them, but oh, there is actually going to be a touch. DC diving into the backline is going to get the touch, but Triamatar dies with his ult for the 3rd fight in a row. Oh, and that's a big bomb, but it doesn't find anything. Everybody able to get away. Famsu throwing his bomb in the air, trying to find something, not going to get anything. And DC with the nano boost is going to be looking for something. And there is the bomb coming out from Jack. DC is going to find Disappoint. Maybe this can swing the fight in the favor. And Jack's bomb is going to get Xavier. What a huge bomb. Definitely doing something in this fight. But Bull of Bulls is going to find Click Clack here. And Rip and Pippin trades him off, though. Taking out Bull of Bulls. Triamatar getting the baby diva. And this point is going to flip in favor of EXPandable.
I think it is very fair to say that Bob did do something this fight. And do something he did. That was an excellent spot to place Bob right up here on this upper ledge. I've actually never seen a Bob position like that before. It's almost like having a 7th player that's a soldier just sitting up there pelting everyone with damage the entire time.
DC now with the dive in, and he's instantly going to get slept. Amatar with the ultimate is going to find Disappoint, even though he gets DM'd, and take Famsu out of mech. Xavier's going to trade off Click Clack, but Amatar finds Famsu in baby form. Sakura, though, with the blade, is going to find Jack, and this is anybody's fight right now. People dead on each side, but DC's going to fell Bull Bulls, but Bird with another barrage takes out Jax and Rip and Pippin. That's a huge ultimate from him, and Xavier with the beat to sustain his team. Sakura is going to find Triamatar, and it is only DC struggling to survive on point. Somehow hasn't been felled yet, and there he goes. Sakura finally taking him. But that's a huge stall, and Jack now back on the Sombra is going to be contesting for his team. Sakura is going to find Click Clack, and this is going to be a tough fight for EXPandable to come back into. They just keep getting staggered and staggered and staggered. They're going to flip the point, and overtime ticks away. Oh, but there's just barely a recontest, but that's going to be it, and Otter Oxide is going to take map number 1.
Excellent work by Otter Oxide. They didn't always have the best alt usage, but they just managed to pull it out in the end. Vara held on to ult a little bit too long, I think, but the stalls, the bobs, or not the bobs, but just finally managed to pull it out. So good on them.
And we did see, you know, that first point was a little bit rougher for EXPandable. You know, we saw that they, you know, or not rougher for EXPandable, for Otter Oxide, right? We saw EXPandable being able to take that first point, but this very odd Pharah comp that we've seen coming out from Otter Oxide has actually been doing wonders against EXPandable. Bird just is somehow, without a pocket, able to find room.
It's a little bit crazy. just you would think that against an Ashe that Pharah would just die instantly, but I guess not.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, Amatar's Pharah definitely wasn't able to find as much space and get as much results as Bird, even without having to deal with an Ashe as well, and you know, Amatar just wasn't able to find as many results here.
And we're going to move on to Watch Point, or no, not Watch Point Gibraltar. I guess Volskaya Industries.
Oh, well, this is
Volskaya Industries. What do you think of that? This map?
I don't know. This is gonna be it actually no. It definitely should be Gibraltar. The lobby admin is debating you build.
Is he?
This is it's definitely supposed to be Watch Point.
Well, whatever it is, it should be a good match.
Yeah. Now Watch
close.
Point is gonna be good for this Pharah play, I think, right? Watch Point, lots of high ground to be exploitable. Definitely very many opportunities to, you know, get on the high ground and make things happen. So do you think we'll see some pharmacy dive maybe coming out from the side of Otter Oxide and maybe even EXPandable? We saw them playing some dive with the Pharah as well.
Well, First Point is very, very defenders friendly. You have a lot of different places to play. The attacking team has to be forced underneath underneath the bridge area where it's very hard to push the payload. You can just get spammed away. So I do expect to see another pharmacy. Both teams seem to really like their Pharahs. So seeing a pharmacy, I don't think is very unlikely at all. We've lost Pipper.
I'm back. Sorry,
Welcome back.
I pressed the wrong thing. Do you think there's anything else we might possibly be seeing from these teams on this map?
Well, Goats isn't very good, especially not First Point. Third Point, we could totally see some Rein Zarya, some Goats. But First Point, either a defense could run a Hog Risa, but I really think it's probably just going to be dive with whoever's on attack. Really, just when it comes to Watch Point Gibraltar, if you're not diving, then there's a good chance you're gonna lose.
I definitely think that's a fair assessment, and we'll have to see how it pans out here.
Seem to be making some swaps
for both teams. Yes, some substitutions coming in, and we'll get into this. All right, and we'll see how this is gonna go here. Like we said, chat, just some very quick substitutions going on for both teams. We're gonna see. It looks like Bossface is going to go in for Amatar for EXPandable Odyssey, and Rudolph is going to go in for Xavier EXE. I thought Xavier was having a pretty good game for Otter Oxide. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Definitely saw some. Who do you think from the first map? Who do you think that we should be watching here?
I mean, I really liked DC. I really liked their play. The main tank plays, I think, were pretty good. Besides a couple overextensions with charges, I think it was pretty solid. Managed to think ahead and get the time just set up just right so they could step on the point to stall it. Their stalls were good. Their engages were good. So like, I want to keep watching DC's main tank.
The one thing that I do have to say though is that for EXPandable is that you can't win a map by stalling, right? So sure. I think we have to see some more decisive fights coming out from EXPandable Odyssey here if they want to take this next map. I definitely think that, you know, like you said, there was some good stalls, but you know, they just, you know, they were, by the time they were actually getting into decisive fights, you know, they weren't using their ultimates. Otter Oxide was keeping the pressure on them for sure.
Indeed. So sorry for the delay, people. People are just making swaps. Coaches are probably pep talking their team. They've got the map selected, and I think we're just about good to go here.
And we should be getting into it soon, hopefully, as we are just waiting for these teams to sort out their lives.
They're sorting out their entire lives in this lobby.
Right now, live in this lobby.
Their careers, all their future relationships, everything.
Yes, everything. Right now.
Wow. I wonder how many of them are going to come out millionaires from this. This is interesting.
Statistically, probably not a lot.
Yeah, maybe one.
So, speaking of, let's getting back on the topic of Overwatch here. Overwatch League Season 2 starting very soon in less than 14 days.
Indeed.
I mean, I know I'm excited, Build. How about yourself?
I mean, I'm excited to see what the top of the top is going to be playing on the current patch with the armor nerfs and the Brig nerfs and the Reaper buffs. Will we see any Reaper at the highest level, or is he still just not quite enough DPS? Is he still
I just don't... I think from what I've seen in higher level scrims, I just don't think that Reaper has the abilities to be decisive for the higher level. Because, I mean, you think about what makes the best heroes in Overwatch, right? It's abilities and ultimates, right? And Reaper's ultimate is okay, right? Like, you know, you can get things done. But the problem is that, you know, he's very easy to CC out of it.
Extremely.
Yeah, and ability-wise, his abilities are garbage, right? That shadow step, it's literally unusable because you literally telegraph where you're gonna be, and Wraith is just,
It gets
right?
you out
like,
of a sticky situation,
it,
but
it gets you out of a, but it doesn't bring a lot to the table, right? Like it might get you out of one CC, but you know any smart player is gonna, you know, CC you, and then you might Wraith out, and by the time you get back into the fight with full health, you're gonna get CC'd again. I just don't think that Reaper is gonna be a very dominant meta, and I think we'll probably see that in Overwatch League Season 2. That's coming up very soon.
Good points. Yeah, I did not hear any mention about using something like the World Cup here, which was very interesting. Instead, they're going to do some sort of Twitch multi-view dashboard thing where you can have as many different perspectives up as once.
I will admit, I forked over my $15 to Papa Jeff. I said, here's my money.
Papa Jeff's got to pay his bills.
Give me that viewer, because that looks crazy. I was looking at it, and you can click on what team you want to view. So if you want to view just that team, or if you want to view certain players, or you can even choose to view DPS players in the whole match, or support players in the whole match, or tank players. Like, you can actually filter down how you want to watch. Like, you can choose to just watch one team. You can choose to watch just one team's DPS line. You can choose to watch just DPSs. It's pretty cool. And Overwatch, I think Overwatch League Season 2 is going to blow our minds.
I can't imagine what the size of the production team must be. It's definitely not one person casting and running OBS at the same time, that's for sure.
Definitely not. I think we are a little bit farther away from that quality than they are. But getting back to our match here, Watchpoint Gibraltar, we're going to see EXPandable Odyssey on the defense first, running a dive with the Widow, Sombra, Ana, and Zenyatta with the Winston Diva. And we're actually going to see Diva Winston from Otter Oxide along with the Ana Zen, so matching support and
Double
tank
sniper.
lines. And we're actually going to, see the double sniper, Bird on the Widow and Famsu on the Hanzo. And we're going to see this first fight here. There's the brawl on the high ground. DC's going to get out to get a little bit more health. And it actually looks like this first fight is very pokey. Oh, but Bull of Bulls is going to find his way onto the support line of EXPandable. And he's going to find Quick Clack. And he's going to get out too. Absolutely magnificent dive from him. DC now looking to retaliate. He's on the back line. Boss Face with him. Trying to find Bird, but Rudolph is going to fall DC. Didn't quite have the support of his team there. And Famsu is going to fall Boss Face with a Storm Arrow. And very quickly, EXPandable is going to have to back off. And it looks like this first point is going to have to be given to Otter Oxide.
Rippin' Pippin goes rip as Otter Oxide steamrolls almost this first point. This first point is often very difficult to take, so the fact that they were able to do it so quickly is very, very impressive. They're coming up on the Nano, and so how are they going to use that? They could wait and try and combo it with with an
Oh,
ult.
Bird is gonna find Jack. That's a huge pick. Taking that Widow threat out of the way is so important, isn't it, Build?
Oh, definitely. I think they're going to Nano Monkey here and go for some big picks on their supports.
And Click Clack has to watch his positioning here. Bird and Bowl of Bulls are on the hunt for his little robot head, but DC's gonna actually find Bird, and that's gonna kind of equalize things here. And Jack finds Bowl of Bulls, but DC is gonna fall. And with Jack coming back from respawn, the man advantage is going to be with EXPandable, and they're gonna push in here. Bossface is swapped over to that Genji to give a little bit more consistent frontline damage to this EXPandable side. But the ult advantage is very strong with Otter Oxide, and they're just gonna back out. They know they have 4.5 minutes remaining. They know they have the time to take. Oh, but Jack's gonna get a sick headshot onto Bird.
Not only do they have 4 minutes, but they also have 4 ult to use here. And
Oh, but
probably
DC
see a Diva Bomb pull out here very shortly.
Oh, Jack is gonna find Rudolph. Absolutely superb Widow play from him on this second point, and DC there pushing them into the choke, allows Bossface to find a disappoint, and Click Clack is gonna clean up Sakura as he got demexed by Jack. Jack here seems to be popping off on this Widowmaker.
Oh yeah, I will continue to spectate Jack here and there to get some quality headshots going. Hopefully Jack can impress us with his skill.
And I mean, we're gonna see a little bit more ult economy in favor of Otter Oxide, but there's still quite a few ultimates on this EXPandable side, and they're getting very close to that team-wiping Nano Blade that they want so badly. Oh, but Bird is gonna find Bossface, and the Nano onto Bowl of Bulls allows him to go super aggro and find Jack as nobody's able to kill him, and Bird's gonna find DC as he's taken low, and Bowl of Bulls is gonna pop the ultimate, forcing Click Clack to pop Trance, but everybody on his team's already bed, and Jax is gonna drop bomb to try to remech, gives his team a little bit more space, but he's not gonna be, oh, he does manage to remech. Sakura almost caught him out there, and Bowl of Bulls somehow is not dead. Bossface does find Famsu. Bowl of Bulls escapes barely with his life, and DC is back. Famsu dropping the bomb behind enemy line, isn't gonna find anything, and Bossface is gonna find a disappoint with the blade. Absolutely chaotic fight happening right now. Bowl of Bulls is gonna get purpled, but nobody's gonna be able to follow him up, and Jax gets taken out of mech here. Bossface is gonna find Bird. That's gonna open up a little bit more space for Jax. DC and Jax find Rudolph and Bowl of Bulls, and I think this fight is finally over in favor of EXPandable.
EXPandable Odyssey popped the Nano Blade, but didn't manage to get the Nano off until the ult was almost over, but Rudolph was able to transcendence the entire thing and completely make it useless.
But
Good job by
Bossface
them.
did find a disappoint, though. So taking out the main support is still a pretty big pick, and I think they got value for that blade. And we're gonna see walls popped on either side here. Wall hacks.exe are enabled, and we're gonna see pretty equal ultimate economy for both teams here. Famsu did swap over to the McCree, and we're gonna see Bowl of Bulls ulting the backline. Famsu is gonna find DC there. Bowl of Bulls is gonna.
Blade.
Oh, this could be big here. No Nano though to help him. Quick Clack does have Trance. Jax is gonna drop bomb to remech, and Jack is gonna find a disappoint. Huge pick from him, and there is the blade coming out, but Bird is gonna get a sick headshot. Jack is gonna equalize onto Bird, and Jax does find Rudolph, but Bird getting the sick headshot onto that ulting Genji, and Jack gets 2, taking out Famsu and Sakura, and that was what, a 3K by Jack on that round?
Oh, I lost count, man. It was insane work by Jack.
And
on
very
the Widow.
quickly, this 5.5 minute time bank for Otter Oxide has gone down to a minute and a half, sorry.
Both Widows showing excellent work here, with Bird sniping the ulting Genji.
Oh, there's a bomb. Big bomb is gonna find Click Clack. Click Clack unable to escape. Oh, Rip Pippin hits the 6th sleep onto Bowl of Bulls as he's nandoed, but Famsu and Bird are gonna clean up 2 kills onto DC and Jack, and it looks like Otter Oxide is actually going to be able to, with the minute and a half they had remaining, get through this. Oh, Jax is going to get antied right as he gets the Nano, so he's going to be unable to stay alive. Click Clack does pop the Trance. I don't know if I would have used that there. The high noon coming in. Famsu unable to find anything, but Sakura and Bowl of Bulls are going to clean up EXPandable Odyssey here. There is still a contest going on, as Bossface was on that point. Do you agree with some of those usages there, the Nano and the Trance, in what was clearly a lost fight?
The Transcendence was in my opinion, pretty much a waste. I think the team should have called that the fight was lost and just let them have the second point. Zenyatta came in to transcendence a Baby Diva and an Ana, I believe, and really the amount of value you're getting from that is extremely minimal, if any.
Bamsu, or Sakura, sorry, not going to find anything with that bomb, and Bird is going to get taken out by Jack. Bullet Bulls goes very low. He's almost at 1 HP, and Jax is going to realize that and follow up. And there's the blade, but Jack finds two, taking out Into the Point and Rudolph. Perhaps two of the hardest hitboxes in this game to hit, and he hits both of them in the face.
Good job with the Nano Blade by Bossface, but Jack takes away most of his kills so that he couldn't even get the big blade.
And we're actually going to see some changes here as Bull of Bulls goes onto the Reinhardt and Sakura onto the Zarya here. But the ult advantage is very much in the favor of Otter Oxide here as they have 1 minute remaining now. Bull of Bulls swinging away onto Bossface, and the dive is going to come in. DC gets on a Disappoint, and Jack is going to poke him in the face. And by poke him, I mean kill him. And DC is going to ult in the backline here, trying to get onto Bird. Bird, though, with the pressure from DC, is still going to find a headshot onto Jack. But DC here doing a very good job to zone out the team, and Jax is gonna be able to find Sakura. 30 seconds remaining here, not a lot of time for Otter Oxide, and they're gonna need to regroup here and get one last fight in.
Excellent pick by Bird, but unfortunately it's not enough to get the team in there. Having to regroup like this with such little time left is really going to not improve things. But they're only gonna have one last fight, and they have Beat,
15 seconds
Nano,
here,
and they have
it's
High
gonna be
Noon.
intense.
Can they do anything with those?
DC is going to get on to a Disappoint, forced to use Nade. Rudolph forced to use the Beat to keep a Disappoint in this fight. And Bird is going to find Jack, but Click Clack comes in with the trance, and the bomb coming in from Jax isn't going to find anything, and he's able to remech. The High Noon coming out from Famsu, but he's not going to find anything. Bossface deflects into Famsu's place, and the Nano Blade is coming out. Bossface looking for a kill. Jax is gonna find Bullet Bulls. Bossface gonna find Rudolph with the blade, and Quick Clack gets Bird, and very quickly it looks like this fight is going to be over. Yes, overtime is ticked away. Good hold there by ExPandable Odyssey.
ExPandable Odyssey managing to hold them off just barely, a little bit before the end. So now all they need to do is just push halfway through the third point. Now, can they do this? Now, based on what we've seen so far, it's a pretty even matchup between the two teams. So I think anything goes at this point. They just need to pick the right comp.
Yeah, I agree here. I mean, you know, Otter Oxide unable to push it all the way means that ExPandable just has to push it as far as Otter Oxide to get the W on this map and equalize the series. So it'll be tough to see. I mean, you know, we saw ExPandable on that second point was able to get some good contests out. They contested for 5 minutes before, with barely 30 seconds remaining, Otter Oxide was able to push it through. So I think, I honestly believe that ExPandable might have Otter Oxide's number on this map.
We're seeing a Bastion. I don't know if they're just doing that to troll or if they are actually going with Bastion, but with the Orisa, it looks like they may be going with the Bastion on payload strategy. And this could work out big, or it could fall completely flat. This
And I
should
mean,
be fun to watch.
I see what they're trying to do here, right? The double shield plus Jax's DM, that's a lot of protecting of the Bastion. Plus Rip and Pippin on that Zenyatta is going to be able to discord targets, which will allow Jax damage output, which is going to be boosted by a Mercy to melt targets quite instantly.
30%
This is going to be
30%.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting if they can set it up. We are going to see dive coming out from Otter Oxide here with the Genji and Bird on the Widow, but he might not get a whole lot of chances to shoot things with how many shields are in play here. And if you're Click Clack and Rip and Pippin, I'm sticking close to the cart as possible, not wanting to give my head up to Bird.
Otter Oxide is looking to back up and wait for their opportunity here. They're just letting them push underneath. Looks like they're going to jump on top of them as soon as they go underneath the bridge here.
Not a bad strategy. Oh, but what a big pull there from Bossface. Knew exactly where they were hiding. And Jack is going to melt Bullet Bulls. Bird is going to find Bossface. And that's going to be the shield down. And Famsu's able to melt Jack. That shouldn't be allowed to happen, DC. You need to shield as much as possible. And there's the res coming out. Click Clack somehow stays alive. Rip and Pippin is going to find Sakura. Jax finds Rudolph. But Famsu there, still on the point. Bossface coming back. Actually, it was Bossface that got res there, not Jack. Do you think... I don't know if I would have res the Orisa there. You know, you have it shield.
Bastion.
You would think, right? You would think. But Bull is just getting discorded. He loses so much health so quickly with Boss Face and DC in his face. Jax is going to dive up and find a disappoint, but does lose his mech for it. Oh, but Bird's going to hit a 6-shot onto Click Clack as the supports are playing way too far away. Jack is back now, and he's going to melt Bulls and Rip and Pippin popping trans in what was probably a one fight.
Bird
Realistically,
backing
one
up,
fight.
trying to stay alive. Yeah, they probably didn't need to pop any ults there, but yeah, it's not always about being the most efficient. You've got to intimidate your opponent sometimes. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Show them
That's
that
my
your
philosophy.
show them that your Zenyatta's balls are bigger than the other Zenyatta's.
Absolutely, dude. I agree.
A little bit of shooting spam coming out from EXPandable. I guess they don't really care about their weapon accuracy that much when you're playing Bastion and Orisa. Oh, Famsu Famsu doesn't get the hack, and he gets absolutely destroyed by Jack. Somehow he got caught out there, and Jack is also going to melt Bulls. Rudolph does find Boss Face, but Jack is just sitting on the payload with double shielding, melting everything that comes close to him.
They can't even get close to this payload. They're trying their best to try and stop it, bringing out the Sombra, but they might
there's
have to
men.
wait.
Oh, they are actually going to get the contest off here. Jax is going to throw a bomb. Oh, a disappoint though is going to get taken out, and DC with the shatter is going to find Bird's Junkrat, but unable to follow up, and Rudolph coming in big. The frag Yada is going to take out too, and I think EXPandable, it might be time to switch off this comp.
A disappoint manages to land a really nice sweep dart onto Jack the Bastion, and they managed to cut his damage out completely for a little bit, and then boop him off the point. And then from there, they were able to just...
Double damage boosted Bastion. Everybody run. Jack is gonna fight Sakura, but Bird with the counter tire is going to melt that little Omnix dream
Still
of
an even
big
fight.
frags. Yes, it is very much even. Bulls now onto the Reinhardt. Gonna be exchanging blows with DC, but DC has the advantage as the Discord was on Bulls, but Famsu's gonna fell DC. Boss Face though is gonna find Rudolph. Click Clack with the res. Boss Face is gonna get a mine to the face, but DC is going to be res. Rip and Pippin with the trance here is gonna keep his team alive, and this is an absolute brawl here. Famsu does have EMP here, but it might be too late as Bulls gets the huge two-man shatter. DC and Jax getting fell, and then Jax getting slept. That is going to keep his team alive, but Jack on the far is going to take out a disappoint, and Bulls. Huge plays coming in from him, and Boss Face on the Tracer is going to clean up Bird and Rudolph. And Famsu, smart enough not to decloak there.
Jack coming in on the Pharah to just completely save this point was absolutely huge. Landed 2 huge picks and then helped out with all the other kills. Tons of damage. Already has barrage.
And I mean, look it, there's not really anybody on Otter Oxide to counter this. Oh, but Bird is greedy. Gonna get taken out, and Jack is gonna find Famsu. Before Rudolph does take him out, Rip and Pippin did take out Bird's tire, so that's not gonna get any value, but it is a 5-4 fight in favor of EXPandable, and they're gonna try to push this here with the man advantage. And it's very close to getting to that corner. Otter Oxide. Oh, DC with the huge shatter is going to keep Otter Oxide from even getting close to that point. What a big brain play from DC there. Absolutely secures this map for his team.
The excellent job getting 2 picks. The Pharah ult used early before they would have ever expected Pharah to have ult was absolutely huge. 2 picks going in. They couldn't regroup in time. They had to hide to try and soft reset, but the shatter came out to prevent them.
Oh, look at that shot onto Rudolph. Jack there showing how dominant he was on that Widowmaker.
Absolutely.
What an excellent
Good
play of the
job.
game to watch.
That was a
And that's
great
actually
match.
going to even up our series here, as EXPandable Odyssey is going to take Watch Point Gibraltar, and that is going to even things up at 1-1. And we're coming up on halftime now, but first, we're going to move into our next map, everybody's favorite, Hanamura. What do you think we're going to see on Hanamura here from these teams?
Well, Hanamura, second point, you can run a lot of different things, but first point is it's usually dive, just like Watch Point. It's probably going to be dive again first point. On defense, you typically see usually like a Hog and an Orisa. That's very popular on Anubis. But who knows? They could run something crazy. They could just run Ryan Zarya. They could try and keep it basic. Brian Zarya, Widow up on the perch. Who knows what they're going to do? But I'm expecting
Or
a
they
dive
might-
from the attackers.
Or they might just go goats, forehead.
They might just go goats, forehead, because goats, you can do it. You can run goats on first point, although it is a little bit tougher.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And maybe we'll even see some Bastion cheese. I know on the 2 CPs, that has been favored here.
I was thinking of the wrong map.
Oh, well, of course you were.
Scuffed Streamcaster.
Scuffed NA streams, everybody.
Feels bad. Well, on Hanamura, you can just run goats. Yes, that is very true.
Does that make more sense now?
That makes a lot more sense now. Oh, they swapped the sides out, so...
Yes, they do that quite commonly. You know. So we're going to see now expandable Odyssey in the red for this matchup, and Otter Oxide is going to be on the blue. Going to be confusing for me and you.
Absolutely. And I have to change all of the team names, but that is already done.
All right, and we are going to get into Hanamura here pretty soon. Doesn't look like there's going to be any big roster changes coming out from either team here. I mean, you know, this is a big game for both of these teams, you know. It's still very early in the season. You know, nobody has really solidified themselves in the league. Expandable Odyssey comes into this matchup 5-3. Otter Oxide comes into this matchup 6-2, having gotten their second loss at the hands of Flashpoint last week, but they did manage to take a win off Blazing Pegasus. However, they do sit fourth in the standings with a map differential of 12, 2 maps behind TBA in second, and 1 map behind Blazing Pegasus in third. And Expandable is in 6th place, so they're barely in playoff contention at this point in the season, as we head into our I believe it's the last week of Stage 1. Only 2 maps behind Quantum Charge, who is 5-3 right now, in 5th place, and they have a map differential of 5. Expandable 5-3 with a map differential of 3. So a win here could be very good news for Expandable going forward.
Absolutely. Now, it seems to be some sort of delay, but we should be up here pretty soon. So, thanks for being patient, everybody.
We just want to make sure everything is as nice for you as possible. And we are very quickly here going to be getting into map number 3, Hanamura. Series has been very close so far. You know,
1-1. We could see a map 5 in this series.
It's very possible at this point. I mean, you know, Oasis was a 2-1, so it wasn't even like it was a sweep for Otter Oxide, and Watchpoint Gibraltar was very close, although I do have to say that I think Expandable showed a little bit more strength than Otter Oxide on that map.
Definitely. Maybe Otter Oxide, maybe they just have better Faras. Who knows?
It is possible, but we didn't really see much Pharah dive coming out. Instead, we saw them opt to play that Widow duel, so maybe, just maybe, that played more to Jack's strength. As, I mean, Jack did impress us on his Pharah, but...
Maybe they're going to go back to Pharahs here.
Maybe, you know, maybe they're going to decide that we're not going to touch Widow and we're going to stick to the Pharahs, you know? Overwatch is very much a rock, paper, scissors game, you know?
Or
you pick, then I pick, until finally we've agreed on something that is okay.
You pick, I pick, you pick, I pick, and then we both get frustrated and just go goats.
Pretty much. That is Overwatch in a nutshell. And we are going to get into our third map here, Hanamura. We're going to see Otter Oxide starting on defense in the blue, with Expandable Odyssey starting on attack in the red. No substitutions. It's the exact same lineups we've seen for the last map. I think they were both pretty strong lineups, so I can understand why each team didn't want to, you know, go with substitutes right away.
So, let's see. We'll be able to see the comps in about 20 seconds here and be able to see what kind of strats they're looking for. Now, we can actually see the health amounts, but we can't see what hero they've selected yet, which is interesting.
Ah, yes. Classic post-patch oddities in the viewer. It looks like... I'm not even sure. I don't even want to guess with these just health bars. And this is our first look here. On defense, it looks like we're going to see a Ryan Zarya Pharah Farah Hanzo, Ana, and Lucio on the Otter Oxide side. Otter Oxide side.
Otter Oxide side. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Otter Oxide
It
side.
is.
Otter Oxide side.
Now, I feel like Otter Oxide would get more value out of putting Rudolph onto that Mercy and just pocketing Bird. We've seen what Bird can do without a pocket. Why not, enable Bird to just absolutely destroy Expandable here?
Well, EXPandable Odyssey does not have any sort of hit scan besides Symmetra. I mean,
Sombra. That's a Sombra.
That is a Sombra. You're absolutely right. So
And we're actually going to see Sombra goats, but instead of swapping out the Sombra for the Diva, we're actually going to see the swap for the Brig instead. And they kept the Zen, so healing might be an issue here for Expandable Odyssey as they come into this. Oh, and we're going to see the Sim teleport to point. Jeez, I absolutely love this. Where's the teleporter? Oh, but Bulls is going to get the charge off, and his team is going to struggle to get through Famsu gets Quick Clack as he's alone on the point, and there's only a Lucio healing for Expandable Odyssey, and Rip and Pippin is going to go down at the hands of Bird. And very quickly, Jax is actually going to find Bull of Bulls, but Rudolph going to find DC, and it looks like Expandable is going to lose this fight.
Unfortunate for them. Otter Oxide actually did a pretty good job keeping in mind that the Reinhardt typically teleports through last, and using that charge and pinned the Reinhardt, taking down most of his health before he was able to even get through the teleporter.
Ooh, Sakura getting a huge stagger onto Quick Clacks, who's standing in the choke. And we're actually not going to see any comp changes coming out from Expandable here. I don't think they have the healing to sustain themselves on point.
They very well might not. Only 2 off-healers, but once the off-healers have their ultimates, they should be able to push this through.
2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here, and we're actually going to see the wall coming out, but Bull of Bulls is going to get the nano, and the teleport to point is already happening. Bull of Bulls swinging away is going to find Quick Clack. Rudolph going to find DC, and Expandable's just dying here. They're, falling so quickly. And they need to get some more healers here. I think they got to realize that Bird and Bull of Bulls are just and even Sakura are just pumping damage into your team. And we are going to see swaps here coming out. Boss Face onto the... Oh! A little bit, Rip and Pippin going to get taken down to half health. Boss Face is going to go onto the Genji. We did see him have some good blades here. Quick Clack probably swapping for that Nano Blade combo, and Jack is going to be on that Ashe, trying to take Bird out of the fly, but Bull of Bulls gets the huge shatter, and the anti coming in, and Famsu and Bull of Bulls are going to find Quick Clack and Desi. Boss Face does find Famsu in the meantime, but with Bird and Rudolph cleaning things up, this fight is already going to be over. But Boss Face is putting in some work, trying to farm to get to that blade as soon as possible.
For sure, they should be able to get that Nano Blade and finally penetrate their defense. Although, now they've just got a Lucio wall, and they've got Faralt, and they've got Graph. Can they even do anything even with a Nano Blade? Because they've...
Desi does have the shatter, Jax does have the bomb, and Rip and Pippin does have the beat. So maybe, just maybe, we'll see something here. But there's Sakura's bomb. Gonna catch quite a few people. Bird is gonna get 2 with the barrage, and neither... That bomb is not gonna find anything as it actually got stuck in the grab behind the wall. This is an intense game here, and with 45 seconds left, Otter Oxide is going to be turning up the pressure. Slowly, they are going to be putting a lot more on this Expandable Odyssey side as they try to make something happen here, as they surge through the point. DC gets booped in the air, and his Shatter's not going to find anything. He gets slept, but Boss Face now, not even at the blade yet. Bull's getting nanoed, is going to find Rip and Pippin. Desi, though, is going to find Sakura. Boss Face finding Famsu. And Desi getting the nano after Bull of Bulls is going to actually stay alive. That's a huge big brain play from Quick Clack, recognizing that he had to keep his main tank in this fight. Bull of Bulls, though, is going to find Quick Clack with a wayward fire strike. Bull of Bulls is going to get Desi, and the blade coming out from Boss Face with the beat, trying to get things done, but Rudolph is going to take him down here. And that actually wasn't a beat for Expandable, that was for Otter Oxide, and that's going to keep them alive. Not a single percentage point for Expandable here.
Otter Oxide coming up huge with this defense. Expandable Odyssey just completely missed out on their big combo that they were saving up all their ults for. The Grav Bomb, unfortunately got stuck when they tried to do it, and it completely ruined their big combo. I think that's what did it for him.
And they tried that Symmetra strat for like what, 3 fights? I think
At least.
after the first fight, you gotta cut your losses and go, well, gents, it's not working. Let's swap.
If they could have just swapped the Symmetra for a Brigida, and then they would have instantly had Zengos. And they could have possibly done that, but instead they went for a Grav Bomb combo, which unfortunately did not work out for them.
A little bit of odd comps coming out, and it'll be interesting to see what EXPandable is going to do to try to make this defense happen.
Let's see. A Bastion.
What do you think they're going to try to do with this Bastion sim strat here?
Well, let's see. They might be expecting a sim strat from them, and so you can sim strat their sim strat, which is always fun. But it looks like Otter Oxide is not going to be doing any Symmetra strategies, which I would say good on them, keeping it basic, keeping it simple. But they're probably, they're going to set up Bastion at the very top. That is interesting. It's going to be untouchable, but will there be enough damage pressure in order to stop them from getting across? They do have a Pharah, so Pharah might be able to pressure them enough.
If I'm EXPandable, the minute they get close to point, knowing they can only get a tick, I'd be sending Jax to go contest and immediately dropping down to scaffolding and just sitting in the window with an Orisa shield. And Otter Oxide is making the smart play. They're going to try to go the long way around, avoid most of that Bastion damage, and we're not going to see a lot of movement from EXPandables. EXPandables, you know they're rotating.
Looks like they're waiting for Amp in order to cross. Now they have Amp.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're going to do. EXPandable, you need to rotate fast because they are already on point.
And rotate they do.
Oh, the huge anti. Jack is going to get taken out so quickly. He does find Bird, but Famsu, Bulls, and Rudolph cleaning things up. Boss Face is going to find a disappointment, but things are all blue in the kill feed here. And that is going to be map number 3 for Otter Oxide.
Otter Oxide looking really strong now. Manages to take this map and completely stomp them. Not just a win, but a stomp. If you played this game in comp, you would be feeling pretty sad afterwards. That's for sure. You'd be wanting to stop playing at this point.
That is for certain. And now, big plays from Bulls, obviously. Huge player. I'm interested to see now, though. 4th map, I mean, if you're EXPandable, you're probably feeling a little shitty. You know, you just got absolutely fucking rolled on Hanamura. Maybe, just maybe, you're gonna sit there and go, maybe we're in rough shape here. But the series is still 2-1. They just have to get the win.
Next, we're gonna be going to Numbani, I think.
Yep, Numbani is map number 4. And, I mean, if I'm EXPandable, you know, maybe I'm sitting there going, you know what, this isn't too bad. You know, we beat the, you know, Numbani's a very divey map for the first 2 points. So, if I'm EXPandable, and actually we're going to swap again, EXPandable is now going to be on defense first, with Otter Oxide attacking first in the red. But, I don't know, man, if I'm EXPandable here, I'm probably, you know, and I'm the coach, I'm sitting in there going, all right, boys, calm it down, you know, it's 2 CP, everybody hates it, whatever, it's over with, we got unlucky, their comp countered us perfectly at the start. But you know what? I'm sitting there going, we had really strong dive, and the first 2 points in Numbani are dive points. So I'm saying, we got this. You know, we beat them on Gibraltar, kind of the bona fide dive map with all that high ground. So I'm going, you know what? We have a stronger dive than them, boys. We're going to go in there. We're going to take this win. We're going to hold them either first or second point. And you know what? Then they just have to push it as far as Otter did.
Absolutely. Now, I mean, I'm a big fan of Numbani. As far as point and payloads go, I really like Numbani. I really like King's Row, but there's just something about Numbani, man. You know, when the music comes by and you hear that, it's just, there's something I like about it, you know.
Please don't do that ever again.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure you killed my ears and everybody's ears that were listening to the stream.
That's too bad. Well, when we get into the map, you can hear it for yourself on the music track that'll play.
Yes. So don't do it again.
Okay.
All right. Map number 4, Numbani. What do you think? Now, an interesting thing here is that the first 2 points of Numbani are characterized by a lot of high ground and generally a very diveable map, but that third point is such a contrast. So what do you do there, you know, after if you're on a roll on the first 2 points, you know, what do you have to switch to secure the win?
Well, if you're on a roll from the first 2 points, chances are you'll have a bunch of alts stacked up, and sometimes you can finish the map just with that. If the enemy team swaps to goats, you can sometimes beat the goats by having just massive alt advantage, but generally for the third point, you'll also need to swap goats, or at least run Zarya with maybe some pharmacy, maybe some snipers, something like that. But if you want to beat the enemy team's goats, you're probably going to have to run goats third point. There's not really a whole lot else you can do, but the first 2 points, dive all the way. For sure.
And we actually are going to see a substitution here for EXPandable. They're actually taking out DC and putting in Melchizy.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. What do you think about that swap, build?
Well, I think DC was making pretty good plays, so I'm not sure about this, but maybe we'll see Melchizy just completely pop off on this next one. Who knows? Let's keep an eye. On him, and we'll see what happens. You know.
Now it is going to be difficult for him. You know, coming in, been sitting in a lobby for 3 maps, probably a little cold. But I mean, you're also a main tank, so you don't really have to aim.
That's true. I'm sure as you're watching the games, you can sort of imagine what you would be doing and keep your brain active like that. At least that's what the players should be doing, I would say. Keep a close eye. Just imagine they're right in it, getting themselves mentally warmed up, if not actually warmed up with aim.
All right, we'll have to see what happens here.
Looks like another delay, but that's okay. Just gives us more time to talk, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So how was your day there, Pepper?
I did nothing all day. You know,
you know what?
It's a Friday. I'm a smart university student who decided to not have any classes on Friday, and that is the way to do it, chat. Excellent. Never have class on Friday.
That sounds like a really good idea.
It is. I'm big brain, but alas, when I play Overwatch, I am no aim.
Today I just worked on a song, played some comp with you actually, and that was it.
And we did not do very good in
2-2.
2-2. Yeah, you know what? It's okay. Net SR game. Net SR game.
A little tiny sliver.
Actually, no, we went 3-2 because I started.
Okay, you went 3-2.
I'm right. Never have Friday class. I know I'm right. Of course I am. Big brain. All right, we are just waiting for.
Waiting for something.
We are literally just waiting for the game to start.
Oh, that's it.
Anyways, back to let's talk about Overwatch League.
All right.
Keep people entertained. Who do you think's gonna win this year?
Oh.
Or who do you want to win? Who do you want to win?
I want whoever Effect is playing for to win. I love Effect.
Yeah. What's so good about Effect to you?
Have you seen Effect play? Have you seen people like Jonak play? Oh, those people are just. You just watch them play, and you realize that there's just some things you'll never be able to accomplish. You know.
Yeah, that's very fair. And we're going to get into map number 4 now. Numbani. The series is 2-1 in favor of Otter Oxide. EXPandable looking to send this to map number 5, Lijiang Tower. And Otter Oxide looking to close it out here. We did actually have a side swap in case you didn't hear. Otter Oxide is now back in the red, and they're going to be attacking first with EXPandable Odyssey on the blue side defending.
Excellent. Now, we'll be able to see the comps in about 10 seconds. Again, we do have this weird bug where we can't actually see what heroes they pick until after they actually spawn, but that's okay. We'll get to see what kind of dive they're running because, let's be honest, it's probably going to be dive.
And actually, nope, you got jebaited. We're going to be seeing a Rhine Diva, McCree Reaper, Lucio Ana. How does that make you feel?
Well, Oh, I was thinking more of the attackers.
I was looking at ExPandable's defense here with Melchizzy on the Reinhardt.
Well, they do have one dive tank and Lucio, but yeah, that's not very divey. It's actually a very interesting comp. I've never seen something quite like that.
It looks almost like they're playing a counter dive with the McCree Reaper.
Very much so. Otter Oxide grabbing a pharmacy along with Ham
Finally.
and Sombra. Let's see this.
So we're gonna see a Winston Wrecking Ball dive with the Sombra, and the Ana of a Disappoint. Famsu is going to be able to scout out the position here, but this is a very good counter dive position coming out from ExPandable, and it seems like the theory behind it is that Jax is going to drop to point and be able to contest, while Melchizzy just sits there blocking for his team, and we're going to see the flashbang come in there. Both get stunned, but Melchizzy is going to actually get booped off. His entire team is going to have to come down there and try to save his base at Bacon, and Bird is going to find Melchizzy as Jack is giving Bird free reign. Rudolph isn't even pocketing Bird. Jack is going to fall in, but Bossface does get taken out by Sakura on the Wrecking Ball, and this is a brawl point, and Click-Clack is going to find Bullet, but Rudolph gets the res on the Bird, and Click-Clack's going to go down to Sakura, and it looks like this first point is going to go in favor of Otter Oxide here, as it's just Jack and Rip and Pippin trying to make something happen.
Looks like they're going to try and recontest here. Will they be able to make it to point? They will.
Oh my god, they did! Bossface does pick Sakura there. Bird is going to find Melchizzy, as nobody's able to counter Bird with the pocket. Just absolutely huge.
Otter Oxide looking very, very strong here. Just keeping up the momentum from winning the last map. And they're looking to close this thing out right here, right now. They've got ults coming up. They're looking in a very good spot. They've got 5 ults, almost 6. They could do whatever they want here. They're getting tons of payload progress. They could do whatever they want. They could do EMP Barrage. They could do EMP Hammond ult. They could do anything.
And we are going to get back into this here. See what is going to happen. We are going to see the same comp. Actually, Bossface is going to swap over to the Soldier here. And it's now just kind of staging here.
Very interesting.
Very quiet. Disappointed is just sitting on the payload, as ExPandable looks scared to engage. Sakura is actually going to mine on top of them. Oh, and the EMP and the barrage. That is just adding insult to injury. Bird taking out Melchizzy and Click-Clack.
Double hacked Lucio. Feels bad when that happens. Rip and Pippin unfortunately did not hang back far enough in order to avoid the EMP. If Rip and Pippin had just gone a little bit further back, the EMP was right on the edge. They would have been able to cast the beat and been able to possibly save their team from a lot of that damage.
We're gonna have to see what's gonna happen here, as with a 5-minute time bank. I mean, this last point is hard to crack if you are on dive, but this comp has just been outclassing ExPandable at every point. Rip and Pippin is gonna pop the beat, keep his team alive. Melchizzy is gonna surge forward and actually get a disappointment. And with no shield there, that could be a big bomb. Is only gonna zone people out, not actually gonna find any kills, and they're gonna dive right back in onto this payload. But Rip and Pippin does get Bird as the Lucio. Jack finally makes a good swap here to counter Sakura's ball. Sombra, a very good counter for ball, but he's gonna dive in there, throw. Oh! Click-Clack in the air does get a 6 sleep, but Sakura is going to survive in the minefield as Click-Clack falls to a mine. Bull of Bulls is going to find Jack, and this is going to be even harder for ExPandable Odyssey here.
It looked like ExPandable Odyssey was finally managing to put a dent in. Bossface with a huge visor out of nowhere. They might be able to take this back now.
Yeah, this could be big here. Jack with the EMP. Oh, but Rudolph is going to get the res off onto Famsu's Sombra. How is he still alive?
That was impressive.
That should not happen.
Definitely
Jack
not.
Is going to get Famsu here, but Jax is going to get anti here. Oh, and this is... Oh, Jax gets forward, and oh, he's going to hack a disappoint. He has no abilities to save himself or escape, but there's nobody there from ExPandable to follow up. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go here for Otter Oxide to push it a very short distance.
They got picked early, and Otter Oxide was just like, you know what, let's regroup. Let's not fight this 5v6. Let's regroup, do the smart thing, come back in, use our ults effectively, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do.
Oh, the Shatter is going to find a disappointing. Rudolph both supports. Melchizedek surges forward, but is going to get taken down, but not before he kills a disappoint. But the res is just going to come right out from Rudolph. Maybe got a bit over aggressive, but Bossface is going to fall Bowl of Bowls. That's going to be a huge pick for his team. And looks like Otter Oxide is going to have to back off.
Again, they're going to have to back off. It seems like EXPandable Odyssey has finally managed to figure out how to take out this team. They finally are putting up a strong defense after getting rolled for the majority of the map.
Demsu there waiting with the EMP, and here it comes. And the EMP, oh, not actually going to get that much value as Bird does take out Quick Clack, but Jax does take out Bird. Rudolph, though, is going to find Melchizedek with the Battle Mercy, and Sakura is going to take out Jax. And the res on a Bird very quickly turns this into a 6v3 for Otter Oxide.
EXPandable Odyssey has to back up and try into a soft reset, and now they're going to get back on the point. They
go with the grab! Oh, EMP coming out from Jack. That seems like a bit of a fat finger Q. Not getting a whole lot of value. And Bowl of Bowls gets a huge slam. But Melchizedek is going to get the nano. Takes out a disappoint. But Bowl of Bowls is going to try to take him off the map. But Melchizedek says no. And Bossface is going to get the visor. But he's not going to be able to find anything as everybody is hiding from Otter Oxide. He's going to get taken down. This kill feed is all red. This is huge.
EXPandable
the maze stall, though.
They're
The maze
trying to
stall.
hang on for dear life. Drizana!
Oh, Jack, though, huge plays. Oh, but Jack is going to get taken out, but he does get a disappoint. Oh, but the EMP from Famsu is going to make things so much harder for EXPandable to contest here with no abilities. Oh, but that's a huge anti onto Bowl of Bowls, but Melchizedek just doesn't have enough health. But somehow Bossface is still contesting, and he's going to take out Bowl of Bowls. But Rudolph, Bird is going to ult, gets two, but Jack is going to take him out and stall the point. And he's sitting there hoping and praying somebody from his team gets to the point. And too late, Jax with the bomb. Can't quite get back.
Otter Oxide was actually down 2 players there, so they could have been able to take that fight going into only 4 players on the point, but unfortunately they just couldn't quite do it. It was so close. 1 minute 16 left on the clock.
That was actually a very good stall, considering there was, what, a 5-minute time bank for Otter Oxide going into the last point?
I think so, something like that. They've got absolutely rolled the first point. So having that much time stalled is really, really impressive. Now, EXPandable Odyssey is going to have to push this all the way to the end and get it with time left in order to make this a winnable game. Now, that's going to be a bit of a tall order, but they might be able to do it. What do you think, Pips? Do you think they're going to have it in them?
It's hard to say. It's a very close matchup, and I don't know, like, EXPandable just has seemed kind of flat. Like, I don't know what it's been, but these last couple maps, they just haven't had that same fight in them that we saw on Oasis, that we saw allow them to win Watchpoint Gibraltar. It's not there. So I think they're going to want to win this. They have to come out and play very strongly here.
Very, very strong indeed. The counter ticks down. Into the first point they go. Looks like they're going with a bit of a classic dive here. All these old heroes. We got a Sombra, we got Ana, Lucio, and then the standard dive tanks.
But Bird is going to be on the far, and I feel like that should have been predicted, and maybe we should have seen somebody on EXPandable ready to counter that. Famsu on the McCree as well. Had a very good game on Sombra.
We'll see what Jack can do
the attack. Bossface is going to get in there first. Gets discorded pretty quickly. Gets onto Rudolph. This is going to be a pretty good dive, but Melchizedek gets slept. Bowl of Bulls is going to take out Bossface, but Melchizedek equalizes onto Famsu, and Jax takes Sakura out of mech. This is anybody's fight. Sakura is going to take out Melchizedek, though. Oh, and that anti is just going to miss from a disappoint. And Bird is going to clean up Quick Clack, and Sakura is going to get Jack. Good fight by Otter Oxide.
They were looking a little bit scared halfway through that, but then managed to get their target set and then get their focus down and managed to take out EXPandable Odyssey and win the fight Good job by them. Now, they're not. No, neither team is coming up on any ults yet. So it's gonna be another standard, easy vanilla on vanilla fight here. We'll see what happens. We might have an EMP soon.
Bird is getting very close with that 84%, and Jax is not far off with 76%. Both Bulls is going to dive the supports, gets slept very quickly. Sakura gets hit with the anti. Melchizedek comes up to help his supports out, and Jack is going to try to get behind on that Sombra, but going to get absolutely deleted. And there's the ult, and A Disappoint also has the nano. No ultimates on this side of Expandable yet, and Rudolph is going to take out Melchizedek here, and they're just going to try to get out. Oh, but Jax is going to get DMAC, and they're not going to stagger him. Quite shocking that you wouldn't stagger a baby diva in that situation.
Interesting. You would think that they should.
You would think, and oh, the ultimates are all in favor of Otter Oxide here.
Absolutely.
But we are going to see Jack swap onto the Ashe here to try to take Bird out of the side. Would maybe a Widow be a better pick here, do you think, from what we saw
but what puzzles me
Jack earlier?
Is that they were so close to EMP. They were about 10% away from EMP, and then they swapped to Ashe. They could have EMP'd Fire, and then Fire would have fallen to the ground. And
EMP bladed,
even that.
And Melchizedek going onto the Rein Zarya here with Jax on that Zarya. Jack is going to get forced out of position. And there's the Nano Blade, and he's actually going to get 2 with it. A Disappointing Bird falling. Bird does get boss fates, but Famsu is going to take out Rip and Pippin. And Sakura taking out Jax. This is not the fight that Expandable Odyssey wanted, as their time ticks away. 120 left to go.
Oh, man. Expandable Odyssey trying their best. I'm not sure about those swaps. Those swaps may have screwed them over in the end because they lost EMP, and they still are seeming to have trouble with Fire, even with the Ashe.
But maybe a smart swap here. Boss Face recognizing that only Famsu can really counter him. Swapping over, and we're going to see the Pharmacy combo here. And Boss Face is going to be very dangerous. But Bird, A Disappoint, and Sakura all hanging on to ults here. And really, no ultimates except for Rip and Pippin's beat on the side of Expandable here. This is going to be a tough fight for them. Click Clack and Boss Face are in the air, trying to make some things happen with their Pharmacy here. Good dynamite there, and Jack is going to actually find Bird. That's a huge pick, and there's nobody to res him. Bob is going to go on to point, and he's going to try to do something. Boss Face is going to find Famsu. Oh, but the Nano is going to go on to Bull of Bulls. Melchizedek, though, is going to find baby Sakura in the backline, and Boss Face is just harassing the support line of Otter Oxide. Is going to find Rudolph, but Jack does steal his kill onto A Disappoint, and somehow this swap is actually going to work for them.
Expandable Odyssey at the last push to try and win the game manages to just barely get by the skin of the teeth, making some swaps here. They're getting a Bastion, a Zenyatta. Very interesting.
Interesting.
What could they be doing with this? Will it take Otter Oxide off guard? Because they need as much time as they can get. Because remember, they have to end the 3rd point with time left. It cannot be an overtime. Otherwise, they can only draw it or lose.
And they are going to have to absolutely roll through this defense on the side of Otter Oxide. We are going to see Bull of Bull. We're going to see some swaps here. Bull of Bulls is going to go onto the Reinhardt, and Famsu is going to go onto that Sombra. He was absolutely killer earlier, and that might spell disaster for this Bastion, but it doesn't look like they were quite expecting it here. Oh, and Sakura is going to drop his bomb right on point, try to zone out, and Bird is going to take that zoning opportunity to find both supports of Expandable. Boss Face is going to try to equalize, but Bull of Bull and Birds clean everything up. What a decisive fight from them. And Jack is trying to get out, and he gets absolutely obliterated.
Flies into 1,000 pieces, man. Are they going to swap off the Bastion? That is the question. Halfway to Bastion, really not very good. If you don't control the cart, it's pretty hard to do things with Bastion. But looks like they're going to stick with it.
Otter Oxide is going to give them space here. That's not what you want to be doing in this situation, I don't think.
You would think they would have pushed up to the
corner. There they are. There they are. Not a lot of time left here. Boss Face is going to swap off of that Pharah onto the Orisa, and we are going to see that strat that worked so well for them on Watchpoint Gibraltar's start. Jack is going to try to find Bird here. Isn't going to be able to find anything. Melchizedek is on his own, brawling against Bull of Bulls, and he's going to get taken out, and so is Boss Face. That was an absolutely sloppy fight, and now Jack and Click Clack are stuck up top, and they're just trying to stay alive. And Click Clack's gonna fall, and Jack shortly after, but he does DMX Sakura, so that does make this possible here for Expandable, with Sakura not gonna be able to get mech back.
So the DMech might actually be a really big play. They have Bastion. Oh, they switched off Bastion when Bastion had all. They went to far.
Jack is gonna go onto that far, and Boss Face onto the Tracer, and he's gonna get taken out right away. That's a huge stagger. Kind of negates, and Sakura is actually gonna be back in mech here anytime.
Yeah, he's still not back yet though. This is still a 6v5. Now that
Yeah,
Tracer's
dude.
back.
And Jack with the pharmacy trying to make something happen. He's on Bullet Bulls, providing a little bit of pressure. Only 10 seconds here. All they have to do is push it to the finish here, and they have a chance. But Melchizzy, oh, he gets absolutely obliterated. Anti left. EMP'd. He's done, and Bird's gonna find 2 big kills. Also getting Jack, and he's also gonna get a barrage off on a
Mercy
Ribbon
picks
Quick
Farah.
clack, but it's not gonna matter. Bird gets 3 huge picks.
Oh, Expandable
And
Odyssey
it
gonna
looks
be
like-
doing their best to stall.
Oh,
Can they
Quickback's
bring
gonna
it
get the
back?
res, but it's a res onto your Zenyatta. Poor Rip and Pip.
had
Oh,
all
but he
of
had Trip, and that's a huge shatter from Melchizzy, and he's actually gonna find a disappointment, and this is actually possible for
It's a
Expandable
winnable fight.
Odyssey. This is so winnable, and Sakura's gonna get taken out of back, and Melchizzy's gonna falls. Bamsu tried to contest for his team. They won it! They did it! What just happened, Bill?
Things just happened.
Things, excitement, and this is still a winnable map with only 1 minute and 15 seconds left. Expandable has to push it all the way here.
They have a better ult economy, but they're gonna.
Yeah, the pulse bomb. They're gonna have the Farah ult. They have Jax's bomb. And Melchizzy is halfway to shatter, and all that Otter and Oxide really has is the beat. Oh, but that's a big bomb going in. Oh, he's not able. Melchizzy misses the charge on the Bullet Bulls, and Boss Face is gonna get. But Melchizzy with a rogue fire strike is gonna get burnt, but Rudolph is gonna take down Melchizzy, and this fight is not going Expandable's way. But Jack is gonna get taken out in the back. This is still winnable. Oh, but Rudolph with the big frags onto Rip and Pippin.
Are they
And
going
Jax
to
has
regroup?
get They don't have the time. They need to push it all the way here in one decisive fight. They get the res off onto Rip and Pippin, and Melchizzy's coming back here. They could actually push this advantage here with Jax and Boss Face having the ultimates. Oh, but it's 5 ultimates on the Otter Oxide side. Quick Clack does have Volk, but that's not really that great of an ultimate. There's gonna have to be some huge individual plays from Expandable, and they're wasting time. Guys, you have to push the cart here. You don't have the time.
It's everything
Or
is
the
stacked
ultimate.
against them. There's no way they're gonna be able to push to the end with time left, even if they do win this fight. It'll be a draw at the best at
Oh,
this
the
point.
EMP bomb is actually not going to find Melchizzy, and he's able to stay alive. Jack is going to find a disappointment, but Burt does take him out of the sky, and it's overtime. This is no longer a winnable map for Expandable, and they need somebody to get to point. Oh, Melchizzy's going to die on the charge. Boss Face does come alive, but it's looking like too little too late for Expandable as the overtime wick ticks away. And your winners for this match are going to be Otter Oxide. GG's all around. What a great game.
Excellent job, Otter, Oxide. They put up a very, they just put up a very good offense and a really solid defense. But I was really impressed by Expandable's ability to actually clutch that fight out. They get the perfect res onto the Zenyatta with Transcendence. They used it perfectly. They managed to clutch second point, but unfortunately third point. The ult advantage was just too strong, and they couldn't do it. But GG's all around. An excellent fight. Great game. Great game.
Yeah, it was a very, very close matchup for sure. I honestly think that on any given day, you know, Expandable maybe could have had a couple things go their way. I just think that the weakness of their Hanamura map didn't set them up in the right headspace to come into this map.
Well,
Now,
maybe
we're
they'll
going to
come
try
back
to get
next
you
time.
guys, maybe, and that is going to bode well for Otter Oxide as they try to climb back up the standings, taking a 3-1 victory over Expandable Odyssey. Very good game all around, and we are going to try to find you guys an interview with...
With who?
We're looking in chat right now.
That'd be
And
interesting.
we're gonna see if we can get something here for you guys.
Love to be able to talk to a couple of players and see what their thought process is, especially with that second to last or third to last fight there, when they absolutely clutched it out. When Expandable Odyssey got the perfect Valk and the perfect res and the perfect Transcendence in order to clutch it out when it was 2v4 or something like that. It was absolutely ridiculous. That was a crazy fight. I would have loved to heard the comms at that point. That would have been absolutely insane.
That must have been quite the impressive, you know, must have been quite the happy moment as you, you know, managed to clutch that out. So we're getting some players in here now. Joining us in the booth to start off with is going to be we're going to have a player from each team. We're going to start off with EXPandable Odyssey's Boss Face. He's playing a lot of DPS. We definitely saw some nice things from him. And we're going to have Bowl of Bowls, the main tank from Otter Oxide, joining us in the booth momentarily. So let's start off with a couple of questions here. Build. What do you want to ask to Boss Face? Boss Face, before we ask you some questions, say hello to the stream. Introduce yourself. Tell us what you were playing today and what you do for EXPandable Odyssey here.
Well, hello stream. Mainly I play projectile DPS for the EXPandable Odyssey. A lot of the times I, will be playing DPS. So primarily be on like Genji, Pharah, and Junkrat. And today, which actually really surprised me when they randomly asked me out of comms, "Hey boss, can you do an Orisa?" Which scared the living daylights out of me. But still was able to do it. I don't know if I was really that good. Any main tank in the chat can tell me if I was doing good or not. But yeah.
Yeah. Now walk me through that that last map there, Numbani, when you guys somehow managed to clutch out that second point and had the chance to take that map. What was going through the team's heads? What were comms like in that moment?
What was going through the comp was like, some of us were like saying this is over, it's game over, and then Mercy was able to get the amazing res off last second onto our Zen, and second he was able to pop that trance, we won that fight. Like there was no doubt about it, because the way that he was able to stall it out that long for all of us to get back to the point. Personally, I was like freaking out on the inside, saying, "Oh my god, you're such a carry," and the rest of us were just all staying completely composed, just finishing off our comms.
Crazy. I would have loved to hear the comms during that when the res goes off, the trans goes off, and then Reinhardt comes back in and gets the trans and just swings his hammer and finishes those kills. I would have loved to hear. I would have loved to have heard what that sounded like.
I can tell you a few things. My ears are still ringing.
I bet. That must have been insane.
It was.
Do you have any questions there, Pips?
I just wanted to ask, what comp wise, what was going through your guys' head? We saw you really struggle on Hanamura there. Were you guys just unable to counter what was going on? Like, what were you guys, trying to think of to counter that?
Yeah, Otter Oxide, their Pharah player. Personally, I can't remember because the second the game starts, I don't really remember the names, just remember characters. But their Pharah was completely countering us. Like, we couldn't figure out what to do against it. Like, we obviously started off on that Symmetra Goats hybrid, and we just, okay, that isn't working. So we tried swapping off to something to actually, start doing damage to their DPS. But their DPS were just always running over us.
Interesting. I definitely noticed the Pharah was definitely a problem. And I noticed your team was one of the only ones that would, on the first map, on Oasis, EXPandable Odyssey, was the only team that had an Ashe for the enemy team's Pharah.
Yeah, Jack really loves to play his Ashe.
Impressive. Well, it was a GG's all around. You didn't get it this time, but I'm sure you got this, dude.
You guys are still definitely in playoff contention, isn't that right?
Yes, I believe in the rankings we're middle of the pack right now.
Well, you definitely showed that you can play against some of the bigger teams.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Anyways, thank you so much, boss. We're now going to hop up to the nest to talk to Bowl of Bowls from Otter Oxide.
All right, thank you for having me.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
All right, good night.
Hello, Bowl of Bowls. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Now you're joining us after a pretty good 3-1 victory against EXPandable Odyssey. Just walk us through the match at a glance. What was what was going through your guys' heads for most of the match? You know, what were you guys thinking was working tonight? What was, you know, not doing so hot? How were things within the team?
So on the first map on Oasis, the first map was University. It was pretty close, but we know that was one of our weaker maps, so we were still pretty confident, even though we lost the first part of the map, because dive is one of our stronger comps. So then the next 2 points of the map, we kind of rolled through a little bit. It got really close towards the end, and then a clutch beat came in from X at the last second to secure the victory on the first map, which was great. The next map was Gibraltar's. We lost it barely because their Widow got a lot of picks early in the fight. It kind of swung the match, but then after that, it was pretty clean from there on out.
Not bad.
And I have to say, we definitely did see a lot of huge plays coming out from yourself and Bird. And as well as everybody else on your team definitely had some big plays as well. Your supports were popping ultimates at the right time, like you mentioned. Xavier managing to get off that beat to help you guys clutch out Oasis and various other situations like that. Some well-timed EMPs and stuff from Famsu. Definitely a lot of good individual play. Do you think that's been a contributing factor to your success in matches like tonight, where it's close, but it just seems that, you know, you guys are able to squeak out some, you know, higher skill plays?
Definitely. Like, a lot of times, like, the matches are fairly close, and then, like, one of our best qualities is, like, our ult management, our ult usage and combos. So, like, even if it's, like, tipping on their side for most of the team fights, if we're able to get our ults off, we're able to pull out the victories a lot of times.
Now, Bill, do you have any questions for Bowl of Bulls?
Well, let's see. I mean, I can't really think of any. I think you asked some pretty good ones there, Pipper.
Well, that's good. Now, walk me through that Hanamura map. We saw you absolutely dominate EXPandable on that map. That must have felt pretty good. You know, what were the comms like in that moment where you recognized that you were getting very close to a full hold?
A lot of it was just like, we made sure we had to reset after every single push, because sometimes we'd lose a person or two. So a lot of times we'd have to go speed back the person from spawn, and then take the fight a little later than we would, rather than holding it choke like normal. So just like, once we got everyone, making sure we had all 6 for each and every fight, so we were able to hold it. And we kind of figured they would run the sim strat. We were talking about that before the match, so we knew exactly what to do to counter it, and how to play against it. So
it sounds like you guys were very prepared then.
Yeah. That's something we kind of expected, so...
Were you
All right,
expecting
now-
a Symmetra?
Yes, we actually, like, right before the map, like, one of our players is like, I think they're probably going to run some sort of sim strat to straight to point, so we should run, like, this comp or whatever, and we should be able to counter it pretty easily.
Now, any
Brain plays.
last little shout-outs or notes you'd like to throw out there to the stream before we pack it in?
Huge anti by Massive on Hanamura there. Literally anti the entire team and their Bastion. Made that push really easy.
I remember that. That was
That was a huge anti.
I think it got like every single person.
Something like that. All I saw was purple on my screen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Bowl of Bulls, and good luck in the future.
Thank you.
All right. That is going to round it out for us here at the stream. I've been Piper casting, and today I've had the magnificent build.
Magnificent. Oh,
Yes,
thank you very much.
casting and streaming with me today. I have to say, absolutely magnificent work, build.
Great job.
Thank you so much,
Pipper.
Thank you.
This was my first time casting, so sorry if I was scuffed here and there, but yeah,
it was
I'll do
pretty
again
good
in the future.
It's pretty good. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this Owlet Miners matchup between Otter Oxide and EXPandable Odyssey. Your winners were Otter Oxide with the 3-1 victory over EXPandable. Thank you so much, and enjoy your evenings.
See you all in the next one. Goodbye.
You turn toward me and look so weak. I've never seen you with such tired eyes. And everything we said we'd be We just traded for a suit coat and a tie. And underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. You're shining bold, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. You're shining bold, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Follow me down, there's no one around. Lay back and take your socks and shoes right off. That natural light is so damn polite, can make you feel just like you were young again. Standing underneath the rows of trees, I can see where the ocean meets the sky. Under our clothes, a fire grows. We are ready for this life of running wild. We're running wild. Underneath